Here we are, the two young parents who snuck out to go see a horror movie in the middle of the day to a hot fucking car. Babe, what did you think of Crawl? Spoiler free for the first 5 minutes, spoiler full for the last 5 minutes. Go.
I jumped out of my skin many, many times. So I feel like it accomplished its thrill-seeking goal.
This is a movie that you wanted to see. What made you want to see this movie?
I like disaster movies. So while this was not like a disaster movie like Geostorm or San Andreas, it had to do with natural disasters, so I figured, why not?
Alligators are a natural disaster, yeah?
No, the hurricane.
Well, it's interesting that, like, so if I put Michael Myers in, a tornado movie, you're down?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that'd be fucking rad. You see, like, the Wicked Witch on her broom, and then you see Michael Myers. Anyway, you saw the trailer, right?
I did. Like, when it first came out.
Yeah. So without getting into spoilers, do you think that the trailer spoiled too much of the movie?
Not as much as I was expecting.
Truly, huh?
Did you? For you?
I mean, virtually every kill was already commemorated, so it was a little frustrating for me. I thought that there might, because it all depends on budget, right? If they have a huge budget, they can do plenty of other stuff, but I just had a sneaking suspicion that with this type of movie, the budget was going to be such that they just had, that they could just cut to people like miles away also being killed. Stuff like that. But it's not that it's bad. I think that it's very well constructed. It's just one of those things where this is like a perfect case in point, along with Pet Sematary, where it's just less is more in the trailer. But,
then do people go and see it? That's for a movie like this. I think Pet Sematary, obviously you have like the nostalgia of having seen the first one, and so you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go see the next one. But with something like this, there is no
built-in metadata. That's what I always refer to. But in discussing films with Clayton Cogswell, our friend, the director of I Had a Bloody Good Time at House Harker, we were talking about you can make the best movie of all fucking time. It doesn't matter if nobody sees it. And so that's one of the good points that the wife makes. I'll allow it, but I just, everything shows you the trailer too. And when you have no impulse control like I do when it comes to horror movies, of course I'm going to watch the whole fucking thing. Now, how far into this video are we? Are we 5? We're only 2 minutes in?
2 minutes,
Shit!
53 seconds.
How'd you think that the budget... wait, we'll move into the next part. Do you think that this is worth seeing on the big screen, redboxing it, or obtaining it through more nefarious means? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you want to be scared, I would say see it on the big screen, because they're like life size, you know? But then I would say Redbox probably. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we spent $30 for 2 people to see it. So, I mean, that's... I want the theater experience for something like this because it's a creature feature. Like, you're not going to get that back. In rewatching it, I mean, this is not a movie that you buy on Blu-ray.
No.
I mean, I don't think of any movies that I fucking buy. But, like, perfect example, if you saw this on Netflix for free, this is a fantastic fucking movie. Because, here we are, we've already seen virtually everything in the fucking trailer, and then we dropped $30 to see it, and it's like, okay, so we got to see how those kills happen, but,
Right.
And then, the use of budget. Did you think that the movie looked good? Did you think it looked cheap? That's my next point.
I would say...
I think it looked good until anything that was like stormy or anything in the background, that's clearly green screen post-production. I mean,
what about the creatures though? Because I'm like, at points they were really good.
Yep.
But then at some points I was just like, no.
It's perfect. Goes back to, I think, was your second episode you did on the show with Mimic?
Yeah.
Where, when you're using the special effects, like the CGI, to supplement or do a little bit, it's good. But when it's a full creature, you're like, all right. But we've talked about this. As a guy who grew up watching kaiju films, I'm okay with bad effects if it's fun and inventive. If you're doing things that are cool. That's one of the reasons I didn't really like Godzilla 2014, is because, I get that you saved your budget for those best 9 minutes of Godzilla. I don't give a fuck about that. I want Godzilla in the whole goddamn movie. I want him in the post-credits. I want it all. And with this movie, I feel like they could have made it perfect, but it was fun. It was good. It harkened back. I had nostalgia about Jumanji like 20 fucking times in this movie. Did you get that?
Yeah, I did. I like that. I didn't think about that until you said it, but that's totally right. Yeah. So now we can move into spoilers.
Okay.
Spoilers.
What the fuck? Like, they needed more kills. Like, the kills that we got were super fun. Like, I really, really loved the goons who were raiding the convenience store across the street, and I love that they were white people. Remember the Kanye West thing? President Bush does not care about black people. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So many years ago. The best thing. What do you think? Do you think more kills, appropriate amount of kills?
I mean, I feel like it was an appropriate amount of kills, like, to go along with the story, because what they were saying is no one's out here, right? So if they would have shown, like, neighbors getting eaten or, you know, like, a lot more people, I don't feel like it would have coincided with the story of, oh, there's a hurricane, everyone's already evacuated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that that's a very fair assessment. But I think that, you know, you could do things, that's my big point, is like you do things in other areas, like in Train to Busan, where you're showing completely different sections that are having their bad, but I think it's fine. With but the budget,
I feel like, yeah.
They pushed the budget they had to a good point. I don't feel like I got cheated.
I think if they would have tried to add like another storyline, like a different location, like, oh, this is a street over, whatever, you know, with people, I don't think that would have worked well. I think it would have made it very convoluted and not.
And that run time.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. So it was 90 minutes.
Less than 90 minutes. Yeah. It was 87 minutes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And what's great is, it just ends with her with the fucking flare, and we're done. I don't need the scene where we see the dad with the hook hand, and he's on Match.com, and he's like, oh, fuck all that. Let's just end the movie now. My imagination's good enough. Okay, here's something they didn't have in the trailer that I loved. You freaked out. The spiders to the fucking face. That was so good. I mean, they
looked
fake
terrible.
As fuck.
But just imagining spiders falling on my face is enough for me.
But that's what I mean. Like, my imagination's good enough to supplement it. So I'd rather have bad effects that are creative and fun than just a few little good effects. I feel like that cheapens things to it. Because especially in the modern era, where you have the really good effects,
I feel like they could have collected some spiders from outside and just dropped them, though, right?
Yeah, they had to pay her a lot more for that, though.
That's true.
But, you know, the films where they have fewer, better effects, all those fucking effects are ending up in the trailer. Yeah. So it's all wasted. The dog doesn't die. Yay! That's good. Dad should have died. Bothered me he didn't die.
Yeah, I mean, logically. I mean, medically, he should have died.
Well, like my dream ending we were talking about, they're laying on the fucking roof and he points and you see the helicopter. What I wanted is for it to pan down from the helicopter and you see one more gator and Daddy's got to sacrifice himself and he dives into the gator's mouth and with the one remaining hand he has, he's like, keep swimming, go for the gold medal, kiddo. I knew you were something special when you held your breath, so go hold your breath. A little too much backstory shit for me. I get why, but I've seen so many movies where it's like, okay, I get it. But at least they didn't belabor it too much. But still, it was a little hacky. What'd you think?
The backstory part?
Yeah, the swimming and the...
yeah, it was fine. We're at 9:03.
And we're also at the house.
Yay!
So, any closing remarks?
If you like creature films...
Creatures?
Yeah. Then I would say go see it.
All right, and I would like to say a special thank you to all of our patrons on Patreon because I have absconded with your money and paid to see this movie without Brian, Chad, and Jim because they can all fuck off. But really, I paid for this myself because I'm made of money, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm not. Actually, more patrons, please. Thank you. Goodbye.